going right to your spot.
Hi, welcome to the Feel Better Show. Thanks for tuning in today. This is a special episode. I'm here at Wildlife Images Rehabilitation Center in Grants Pass, Oregon, and I'm talking with Executive Director Dave Siddon. And right now we're here with this beautiful golden eagle. And well, why don't you tell us about why she's here?
Well, Duchess came to us as a rehabilitation patient that was hit by a car, had a wing that had been broken and it had healed incorrectly. So she was never able to fly, but we got her in as an educational ambassador, and she's marvelous for that. She's got a really, really sweet temperament, very easy bird to work with. But she's always had that chronic droop of the left wing there, and her quality of life was going down. So thanks to some kind folks that donated some money, we were able to take her down to UC Davis. And they looked at the wing very closely and did like a 7-hour surgery to take away some of the scar tissue and rebuild the wing so she could at least hold it in a normal position, and all the arthritis and all that was hounding her before is sort of gone now. It's not a problem. So her quality of life has improved, and we expect over time that wing will return to like a normal position too, so she can walk around and everything just great. So she's a marvelous eagle, and we're just delighted that she's doing so darn well.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a success story.
Oh, it really is. It's so good to see an animal that's, kind of suffering chronic pain and be able to do something really good for them to fix that.
That's one of the reasons that I wanted to do an episode out here, to support your work and to show people how we can feel better by helping animals. With the encroachment of humans into habitat more and more, there's more injured animals, there's more loss of habitat, and we have a responsibility to help. You've dedicated your life to this.
Yeah, and I was fortunate enough to have a father that really knew the dangers of letting the environment degrade over time. I grew up with somebody that was a wildlife or documentary filmmaker that was directly involved in trying to turn people's mind away from pollution and turn it into saving wildlife and doing something good for the environment. And so early on, he produced a film on the brown pelicans and the DDT phenomenon and things like that. And his film actually changed a lot of, helped change the laws so that we banned DDT. Well, his work continued when he moved to Oregon there and brought some of the birds with him. And there was a need in this community. He didn't have any intention of starting a wildlife rehabilitation center, but as soon as people found out he was here and had these birds and the knowledge, they started bringing animals to him. And it became a pretty unwieldy beast. By about 1981, he decided we better form a nonprofit because this is getting really hard to deal with. It started off with a nest of jays and some small things, but soon it was bear cubs and deer and cougars and eagles and all sorts of other things. And the expenses keep going up and up and up. So he formed a nonprofit back in 1981, and we've been here since. And it's really I think our biggest mission is connecting people to wildlife, because people that are connected to wildlife are going to be more conscientious voters and consumers and going to do a better job of protecting the environment for future generations. So that's our goal.
Let's talk a little bit about the feel better aspect. It's obvious that animals make people feel great. The pets, look at how the internet loves cats. I just imagine there have been so many wonderful experiences out here through the years with, all the families, all of the kids, all the people connecting with wildlife. Can you tell me one of your favorite stories?
Yeah, I think, basically I've worked with every kind of animal imaginable, from penguins to killer whales to eagles and everything in between. And over my life, with all the experiences of animals, I think the most fulfilling experience I've ever had is taking an animal like an eagle that you repair, came in that was almost hopeless, and repair it and take it out and release it in the wild. It's like an endorphin release that you couldn't get with anything else. And it's so darned amazing to have that experience. I wish if everybody could experience that, there'd be no problems in the environment. They would be rolling up their sleeves and getting busy to take care of the environment. But boy, if there was some way to share that with people, how amazing that feeling is, that would be the very, very best.
All right, well, I'm glad you're here to share that. What else do we have to check out? What are we going to see next?
Well, so we have little fuzzy creatures over there in the hospital that we can go talk about. And if you want to go over, we'll go see those.
Let's do it. Wow, this is a beautiful building, Dave.
Well, this is our new pavilion, and we host our fundraisers here. We're hoping to have it available for the public for weddings and all kinds of events like that. It needs to generate funds to help us support our wildlife rehabilitation efforts. And funding is always the most difficult part of whatever we do. Hopefully this will do it for us, or help us anyway. So what we're going to go see now is our clinic, and this is where the magic happens. The coolest things in the world, because you get these animals in that have got no hope for survival at all, and you turn that around, and hopefully we can have a release with them.
Okay.
Well, Cedar, this is Christy. She's one of our rehab experts here, and
Hi.
she'll give you a little bit of information about what she has.
Okay.
This is a western gray squirrel, and he is about 8 weeks old.
Wow.
I believe he was caught by a cat, which is what we see a lot of this time of year in baby season.
Okay.
And I'm going to feed him his early lunch.
Okay.
On your way.
Will you give me that smudge right
I
there,
would be
Dave?
happy to do that.
Thank you.
You little guy. Oh. So, tell me, please, how it feels to do this work.
It feels fantastic. It makes me feel like I'm making a difference. It makes me feel like maybe I'm making up for a little bit of the damage that I inadvertently do every day to the planet by trying to give back. Makes me feel like I matter.
Yeah. I can't imagine anyone who sees this does not feel just how amazing it is to help such a vulnerable little animal.
Right?
Yeah.
It does feel great, and it's awesome to get to watch them grow and to see them out in the big cages eating on their own, and to eventually get to go and release them. Very satisfying.
Yeah, Cedar, one of the things that we face here often is, cat-caught individuals. It could be snakes, lizards, squirrels, little birds. And so this time of year, we implore people to please keep your cats inside, because they do so much damage to the wildlife. And everybody always says, oh, my cat doesn't do that. All cats do that. That's just the nature of the beast. Mm-hmm. And so keeping them inside helps keep these little guys intact, keeps their homes intact, and keeps the environment more sound. They're just an unnatural predator in the area, and we got to do more to make sure that they aren't preying on these little guys.
Yeah. So it's mostly cats, not so much dogs.
Yeah, cats primarily. We do get dogs occasionally bring in animals as well, but cats are the main culprit. And everybody lets their cats run wild, and of course cats climb trees and things that dogs don't do.
Yeah.
So cats are more able to catch these little vulnerable guys.
And springtime is a more important time to protect
Yeah,
them.
the babies have no idea about predators or how to avoid predators, so they're out there very, very vulnerable, and cats take advantage of that.
Yeah. So, what's the future for this little guy look like?
Well, we'll get him weaned. We'll get him in a bigger cage with some other squirrels that are from his county, and let him start wilding up and being a squirrel and eating regular foods. And when he's able to survive on his own, he'll get released with all of his buddies that he made while he's here.
Okay.
And live a happy squirrel life is our goal.
Do they have any socialization issues when they're first introduced to each other?
No, not usually. They do.
Okay.
They do pretty well. Sometimes, if we need to, we'll put cages beside each other so that they have a little bit of time to get used to each other.
Right.
But they do pretty well with their own species.
Well, that's
And
good.
squirrels seem to have like an on and off switch. You'll nurture them and care for them like this and bottle feed them, but all of a sudden one day they just turn wild. And it's a change that's just literally overnight. So they wild up and go out very, very well and forget about people.
Okay. And when you see that change, then that indicates that it's ready?
Yeah, it's time to be weaned, yeah.
Okay. Well, this is just a wonderful experience to be able to see this work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, what do we have to see next, Dave?
Want to move on to the Discovery Farm?
Sounds great.
Good.
So just recently on our land, a bear broke into a car because there was a granola bar in there, and it managed to release the parking brake, and the car rolled forward into the house and damaged the house. And then the bear destroyed the interior of the car on the way out because it was so freaked out.
Yeah.
And I now think that bear has probably been trapped and is gone. And I wonder, are you able to take problem bears like that here at this facility?
No, the state won't allow us to intervene in a situation like that. Typically, problem bears are dispatched, and we really don't have much that we can do about that. We have to follow the guidance of the officials and keep our permits in compliance. So.
You used to have bears here, is that right? Do you still have bears?
Yeah, we have one bear left. When I took the place over from when my dad passed away, we had 17 bears. But anymore, the regulations and everything have gotten so strict that we just aren't able to have bears anymore. And our last bear is 33 years old, so she won't be around a lot longer. And it's a shame because I think the bears are just such a megafauna in this area. Yeah, our friends from the Irwins come over here from Australia, and they're amazed by bears because a big old predator like that, they don't have them. Their bears there are cute and cuddly, not like ours.
Yeah.
So when the Irwins are here, they're always amazed by the grizzlies and our bears and megafauna that they sort of are.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for the public to see those things. So I wish the permits weren't so restrictive. So we are a ZAA accredited facility now and have all the ability to have bears, but it's a big investment to redo a lot of your infrastructure to make sure that you can handle them properly, and that's the expenses are just too great for us at this point.
Okay. Well, I hope that changes in the future.
I do too. So now we're going to introduce you to our newest endeavor, which is Discovery Farm, and we've done this because it's gotten so difficult to share North American wildlife with people because people are tactile. They want to be able to have contact with an animal directly. Well, the Discovery Farm, we've got animals now that are animals that we can work with and the public can see and interact with legally and still get the connection to wildlife that is so darn critical. We want to have like these little wallabies, and we've got things that are easy to work with like goats, and we've got some rhea. We've got all kinds of interesting animals, and most of them are derivative of wild animals of one sort or another. So having kids, adults, or whatever, making direct contact with these guys is super, super critical. And that's where the rubber meets the road. When you get these little guys and you get up close to them and be able to interact with them, it can change your life. It really, I've seen so many people that it makes such a giant impact with them when they can do this.
That's for sure.
How can you get any better than that?
So, wallabies are farm animals?
No, not really, but these guys were raised in captivity, and they were hand raised, and we weren't worried about trying to rehabilitate them and put them back out in the wild. They're doing very, very well in the wild. And a lot of the zoological institutions, of course, raise wallabies, and they do very well with people, and they do very well in captivity. And it's a unique animal. I mean, where else in Oregon are you going to come in here and interact with a wallaby like this? It just never happens.
No, first time in my life.
Aren't they the coolest?
Yeah.
So we have 3 of them.
Okay.
And they just love being around humans. So it's been a wonderful addition to our place. He's so shy.
Wow. Do you know how old he is?
We really don't know, because wallabies are really hard to age because, of course, they come out, they're about the size of a bean, they crawl up into the pouch, and then they're in there through what would normally be gestation period. They're being raised in a pouch and all that. So you really they don't emerge until they're ready to be outside and on their own kind of. So we don't know their real true age. This one's probably, roughly a year old, right in that area.
Okay. And is he going to get any bigger?
He's almost full grown. He'll be probably another third bigger than that, but not much bigger.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. What a great experience.
Oh, you're awesome. You're welcome. Gosh, he liked it too.
Well, that's just great. This has been such a wonderful experience out here today. I'm so happy that you're doing this work.
Well, thanks. It's good to have you part of it, man.
All right. Well, thank you.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Feel Better Show today. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. To learn more about wildlife images, check out wildlifeimages.org, and we'll include more information in the episode description.